Welcome back. Sasol says it's still ready and waiting for government to give the green light to fracking. The JSE-listed global energy giant released results today, reporting profits that were boosted by the weaker rand. Sasol avoided Eskom's woes because it makes more than 70% of its own energy. It also said that fracking can change the energy landscape in South Africa because natural gas could be burnt to produce electricity. Well, fracking involves the extraction of natural gas trapped underground by using pressurized liquid to fracture rock. Sasol has exclusive technology that can take this natural gas and transform it into liquid fuel. The US Energy Department believes that South Africa has the 8th largest shale gas reserves in the world under the Karoo. Last year, government gazetted draft regulations around fracking, and an interministerial committee has been appointed to strengthen those regulations. Well, while it's waiting for South Africa's shale gas decision, Sasol has written down shale assets in Canada. Earlier, my colleague Nompu spoke to Sasol CEO David Constable and asked him if they're still worth keeping.
Definitely is, and that is a partial impairment. And when you say if it's a partial impairments get reversed, obviously, and can get reversed. And that would be as the gas price creeps up a little bit, we can look at reversing the impairment. So it's where we're at right now in the market. Our partner Talisman sold their 50% share to Progress Energy, and that triggered an impairment review and calculation by the auditors, external auditors, and our management. And we just thought it'd be prudent and just to make sure that we are don't have more carrying value on the books than what ultimately that value is right now, based on current market sales of similar type of reserves. But from my standpoint, I fully expect all of that gas, trillions and trillions of cubic feet of gas which we own there, to in the long term drive a lot of value to the shareholders. And whether it goes to LNG offshore Western Canada, or whether it goes into a GTL facility that we're thinking of, it's in pre-feasibility or feasibility right now in Canada, or it just acts as a natural hedge. Having that gas in Canada is a natural hedge to our GTL aspirations in Louisiana. So having that feedstock is very important to us, and long term it's going to be very good.
And still sticking with shale gas, if the opportunity were to arise in South Africa, would you consider investing in exploration of shale gas?
Most definitely, most definitely. We have the experience in Canada. We're doing it in a very environmentally friendly fashion. So we know how to do that properly, and of course you need the right operators and the right regulatory framework to make sure everyone plays by the rules. And then that's just a huge opportunity for the country and for the region to drive a new industry, and job creation, would be in the millions. So it's and secondary industries and what we could do with that gas, whether it's gas to liquids or gas to power or gas to chemicals. It's obviously very exciting. The reserves, the block we had with our partners Chesapeake Oil and Statoil out of Norway that we looked back in 2010. The rocks, they drilled for core samples back in the 70s and 80s, and doing the desktop studies on those rocks, it was too fractured for you to get it, delineate into the shale and to lift that gas economically. So we handed that block back. But there's these bigger blocks in the Karoo proper that other companies have access to, that we're very interested in either farming in or participating in some fashion to be a South African company in charge of that, to help be in charge of that resource and monetize it in the country, and not just send it off in liquefied natural gas to another country so they can monetize it.
Operationally on a cost basis, to what extent has it been beneficial for you to actually be able to generate 70% of your own electricity in running the business?
That gives us a lot of flexibility, especially right now with the challenges. We continue to, in the past couple of years, we've brought about 260 megawatts of gas-fired power on in Secunda. We put the 140 megawatt gas-fired power plant in Sasolburg, and we're building a 140 megawatt over in Mozambique. All those plants take some heat off of Eskom, obviously, of the utility company, and we're doing that with low carbon natural gas feedstock from Mozambique, so good for the environment as well. as we can turn down the coal boilers. So that flexibility and having that 70% available to us, very important. And also in times like this, with what's happened the past couple weeks with all the rain we've had, the coal piles are very wet, and wet coal does not fire very well in a boiler, and is tripping the country's power plants. So what we do is we work very closely with ESCOM and manage these challenges, and we'll turn down our non-critical producing units and bring up our self-generated power as well to help out as much as possible.
That was Sasol CEO David Constable.